We're on our staycation here in the north of Mallorca. We're staying near to Arta, but we've come today to Cala Mesquida, and we're just going to have a look at the beach, and then we're actually going to see if we can find somewhere to have a drink and maybe even a bite to eat.
Definitely.
So let's get on our journey. Where we've been parking, there's lots of chickens, hens, roosters. There's also a lot of wild cats. They both seem to be living happily together, one feeding off the other, I guess. And this is somewhere we've never been to before. So it's a lovely little promenade which is taking us down to the sea, which is a little bit different to where we're staying, which is close to Cala Torta, which had the most rocky, bumpy road we've ever driven on, I think, here in Mallorca. So we're right, if you look at a map of Mallorca, we are on the northeast coast, right as far as you can get to the north, really. And if you went any further east, you'd end up in Mallorca. This looks like a nice promenade, a little bit more built up. Lots of apartments here, which all look very nice, hotels. So it's a little bit more of a tourist spot than where we're actually staying. Quite a few people have obviously been on the beach. It's the 2nd of August. Ooh, some nice steps. I think we might avoid the steps. Too many there. It's the 2nd of August. It's 2021. And we do still have this pandemic. We're supposed to be going to England. Well, Nisa's are supposed to be in England already now, and I'm supposed to be going this next week, but we decided that with all the restrictions and issues that there were, we would postpone our trip to the UK, and we decided to do the staycation. So here we are in the north of the island, and we're just going to spend a few days up here and investigate parts of Mallorca that we've never seen. And it sounds strange when we tell people we've never been here, but to us this is a long, long way away. We are nearly 100 kilometers from where we live, and it takes about an hour and a half to get here, which I suppose in UK terms, or if you come from the continent or from America, that's really just down the road. But for us who take 6 minutes to get to work, driving for an hour and a half is a long time. So anything over about 15 minutes is a long drive for us. But this looks a really pretty place to come to. There's we can see already that there's some dunes here, and they do like to protect the dunes, so we've got some ropes to guide people and try and keep them off the dunes, and allows the vegetation to take hold and naturally hold them in place. But so that you can actually walk through the dunes, there are these boardwalks, and that's a really nice idea. So we might have a little venture along those. We're going to walk down to the sea first though and see what's there. Nice to see some information boards, all in multiple languages, and this is really quite interesting because it's telling us all about the different animals that we might see around. And I've never been anything of an ornithologist. I'm really quite fascinated by birds of prey, and here we've got peregrine falcons, so booted hawk, eagles. I'd love to see some of those, get my camera on them. You can see beautiful countryside, some nice hills. If you want to walk and go up a hill, there's lots of walks, so each of these numbers, they're all numbered walks, route 1 to 11 and 3, I don't know, strange walk numbers, but take you onto different parts of this. It looks really maybe somewhere we need to come to in the winter time when it's a little bit cooler, because it's really, August is not the time to be going on a walk in the hills. Save that for November right through to March. So it is a holiday area. It's a place people come to for their holidays, and they're staying in the hotels here. Looks really nice. Interesting looking building at the front there. Not sure what that is. We'll find out when we get to the other side. We've just been to Cala Mesquida, and the water there was crystal clear. It was a bit choppy because there's been a bit of a breeze this afternoon, and there's a few clouds in the sky as well, so it's not so intensely hot as it was a day or two ago. So my guess is the temperature's actually dropped down to about 30. No, I'm not seeing that anywhere yet. Lovely beach. Oh, and that interesting building is a bar. But what a lovely sandy beach. And again, lovely blue water. Lovely colour. Coming up to 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and still lots and lots of people on the beach. Green flag out there, and there's a socorrista, a lifeguard on duty, so just making sure everything's safe. Plenty of people in the sea, but people are obviously getting ready to go home. And the beach, you can see, is really deep again. It's another one of these that goes back a long way. Having a look up onto the hillside, there's the hotels. Really an interesting resort that we are not familiar with. What do you think? It's very nice, isn't it? Nice sandy beach. If sandy beaches are your thing, this is a place you should come. In the distance we can actually see Mallorca. And on another occasion we'll head off in that direction. We have been to Majorca before. It's all Majorca, all of those islands there. So it's bits of Majorca that you can see. Interesting rocky coves here. So we've actually walked up into the village, if you like, of Cala Mesquida, and it all seems to be one hotel, and some of these buildings look as though they've come straight out of the 60s. Reminds me of Heidi High. These are a bit different, but nearly all of these are part of the Zafiro group, and it looks as though the Zafiro group have taken over Cala Mesquida. And you can see another car park. So as we were coming in, there was lots of signs for parking to do with Bar Willie's. We've walked past Bar Willie's, and we may even stop in there later on. But as we drove in, we actually just found some street parking. People are going away from the beaches now, and there is some street parking. And here is I think this is a municipal car park. It looks pretty full.
German butcher.
And there's a few shops here too. So Anita will be happy. Oh, there's a spa. I can buy myself some beers to take back to the hotel. And some trampolines there. I don't think Anita's actually gone across the road to have a go on the trampoline. I think she's gone to get some shade. But this is just one of the many entrances that we've seen to hotels. Actually, this one isn't the Zafiro, this is Viva. It's a very similar design to the ones down the road. So there's a car park, and here we've got some little shops, and there's a doctor. I was saying we were due to go back to the UK, but they keep swapping and changing the restrictions in the UK. So up until today, if Anita had gone back last Friday as she was due to go back, she would be in her 10-day quarantine or isolation because we have EU vaccines. They changed the rules, so as of today you don't have to do that. But they're talking at the moment of introducing some more variations of colours to the traffic lights. So when I did my highway code, we only had 3 colours. It was either red, amber or green. I suppose we did have a red and amber, and so they introduced the amber plus, so I'll forgive them for that. But now they're going to introduce the amber watch list, and maybe the green watch list or the red watch list or whatever. So we're going to get a spectrum of colours now, and that's going to make life a little bit confusing. So there's a little clinic across the road, a doctor's, and it says Juaneda on, and those are the sorts of places you need to look out for if you're going back to the UK and you need an antigen test, which if we do go back, and it's probably what we're going to have to get, you pay your €30 and they do a test, and it's a fairly quick thing. People have been asking about tests at the airport, and seemingly they have to wait a long time. I would have thought you could have done it very quickly. And I found another car park. So I don't know Cala Mesquida at all. There's a big car park here. I guess you need to come early to get your spot in there. Or late as we've done, so maybe we would have managed to find a spot in there. I can't actually tell. I think there might even be a yellow line here, so maybe you're not supposed to park on the road. Hard to tell. The car park actually goes down further. Some of these may be pay and display, though I can't see any indication of that, where you put your money in and pay for an hour or two. So we've just been down to the beach down there, so we're just coming down a little bit to a different area. The Germans who've been coming here, and they've been coming throughout the pandemic, now they've been told not to come. I'm not sure what restrictions they have, how difficult it is. So that the different countries are getting different messages. So it's all very confusing. So we're holding off a little bit to take our trip to the UK, but hopefully before the end of August, because I start back to work in September, and I start back to work. It's not so easy for me to go back to England, so I have to wait for half term, which is at the end of October. So I've moved one of my flights to half term, and hopefully things will have settled down by then. In terms of numbers here, they are astronomical at the moment, really high, but it's all among young people. So young people have got are catching the disease and spreading the disease, and people of my age who are vaccinated are not particularly catching the disease. So most of the young people it's mostly young people, and not so much the old fogies like me. We're just getting to the end of this little promenade bit. I'm not sure whether it goes around the corner or not, but it looks like an interesting rocky way down. Oh, you can actually go around here. I don't think I'm going to go. The path just disappears along there. But you can see, I can see people there swimming, snorkeling in the sea, and the sea looks beautiful. And there's a nice promenade that takes you along there. So I'm going to have a little walk along there, and he's joining me. So. She's forgotten a parasol, and I've forgotten my hat because we didn't think it was going to be sunny.
I really do need it in the sun.
We're just going to have a little go walking along the little promenade here, which might give us an interesting view back over Cala Mesquida. It's a very hilly area, so if you do come here, it's not flat like where we usually go to, which is Palma Nova, because it's nice and flat there. This is a little bit more hilly. I just mentioned that the Germans are putting restrictions on people coming to the island, or they're not encouraging. I'm not sure how they're discouraging, but that's obviously having an effect on German tourists, which has been quite upmarket recently, and now it sounds as though the Germans are either not coming or they're going home early, which isn't very good news for this side of the island, particularly the northeast and east coast of Mallorca, which normally has quite a lot of German tourists. And I've just noticed behind us a restaurant closed, but all the signage on it, big letters, was obviously in German. There is a lovely breeze, so the sun's just going behind the hills. It's still only just after 6 o'clock, so it's not setting yet. But it's such a mountainous area around here that the sun goes behind the hills quite early. Look at that incredible view. It's just beautiful. Looking back to the beach, we were on the beach a few moments ago, and then looking out towards Majorca. And there's a bit of a cheeky thing, isn't it, there? There's a couple on a paddle board, and the girl's doing all the work while the boy sits down with his feet dangling in the water, making it harder for her to paddle.
Can we stop and have a photo?
Photo time. Just move on just a little bit further. I think this promenade perhaps just ends here. I could sit and look at views like this all day. Something of a viewing point. Looks a bit dangerous actually, because it's quite steep down there.
The goats up there, steep. Steep.
I don't know if you can see, but there's goats on the hills. Cabras. Some of the goats that you see, and some of these look quite big. I mean, they're like donkeys. You can see them in the middle of the road. They're quite frightening.
They don't look real, do they?
Well, I hope you've enjoyed our video here in Cala Mesquida. It's somewhere new to us, and it looks a really nice place. I think it's somewhere we need to come to maybe in the winter time when it's really quiet and we can do some of these walks into the hills, along those boardwalks. And it looks quite interesting. It'll be a lot quieter in the winter time, of course. But thank you for watching, and if you haven't already subscribed, then now's the good time to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell, and well, we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.